this time last year, I'm going to claim it. I said that I think there's going to be a new campaign type in 2025, and I'm going to say I wasn't too wrong. With Search AI Max, I think I'm calling that I predicted correctly. So I'm going to take that one as a win.
Nice.
A ho 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 and a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas to you guys. We are back with another episode of the PPC Cave with the 2025 Google Ads wrap-up episode. Gene, how are you doing, mate?
I am great. It's awesome to be able to do our usually monthly episode together. So, yeah, I'm stoked about this one. And how about you, Ryan? How you doing?
It's good to be back. It's been a while since I've been on an episode with you, talking all things Google Ads. So it's nice and reuniting for the Christmas episode. I see you've got the Cowboys Santa hat on there. I went a little bit more traditional. So, yeah, go Cowboys, I guess.
Yeah, go Cowboys. And you guys, you have to jump on either Spotify video or YouTube for this one. I mean, yeah, if you want to listen, that's fine. But we look ridiculous right now with our Santa hats. But we're trying to be more creative and more festive for this Christmas Google Ads wrap up episode. So check us out.
Absolutely, you look like you should be behind the line of scrimmage, ready to take a shot and throw a ball. So it looks really cool. But yeah, back again,
Thank
and
you.
in this week's episode, we're going to be talking all about the kind of things that we've noticed over the year in 2025. But before we get into it, I just want to talk about our sponsor, Opteo. A fantastic tool that Gene and I both use to manage our Google Ads accounts. It just gives you so much information on what you can do, whether it's audits, whether it's key data insights, data-driven attribution, and all you can get really finite in the data and what you read. So if you want to learn more about Opteo, go to opteo.com/the PPC Cave. Normally, I think you get like a 14-day trial, but it's Christmas and we're already giving you a nice present. You get an extended free trial, 28 days from Santa, from Gene and I. So go over to opteo.com. Perfect way to kick off 2026 by testing out a new tool for your clients. Opteo.com/the PPC Cave and see what it's all about for your clients. Cool. So
That
with that out
was
of the
pretty
way,
good.
then I think let's just get straight into it. And well, even before we do, I want to hear about you. It's been so long since I've been on the channel. What have I missed? I don't even know what's been happening. I know we've just seen Thanksgiving come by and go. Like, are you ready for the holidays? Have you bought all the presents for the missus and everything, or what's been going on?
Yeah, she doesn't watch this, but I haven't bought her a gift yet, but I have a perfect gift for her. Uh I don't want to say it because she might be listening
She might be
in,
listening in.
but yeah, uh, everything has been going pretty well here. Yeah, Thanksgiving has come and go here in the U.S. Trying to shed those Thanksgiving pounds off of me, but everything is good. Can't complain. The holidays is coming up, so it's just a lot of shopping and preparation because we are spending it in Oregon. So
Wow.
it's going to be a nice time being with her family as she's always over here, in Colorado with mine. So yeah, it's going to be pretty fun. What about you? What do you have lined up for Christmas?
Yeah, so we've got all the kids this year, so that's going to be fun. Me, my partner, and our three children together on Christmas Day. So that should be fun because usually, obviously, the other parents are in the limelight as well. So sometimes we switch years and things like that. So this year is our year with the kids. Honestly, I'm not a big Christmas dinner fan. Like, I would much rather have like picky bits here and there, but we're doing a Christmas dinner, so that'll be interesting. And then we'll probably just like either read or watch Christmas films together, or as you guys say, Christmas movies and things like that. So that should be quite good. But I must admit, I was checking out your Instagram page the other day when you were posting the picture of the table for Thanksgiving. I may have been like salivating a little bit because like the turkey and everything. I was like, oh my god, I'm so jealous.
Yeah, us Americans, if we know how to do something, it's how to create a big fat meal for everybody on Thanksgiving, including the turkey. it's just all carbs, it's all unhealthy, relatively. So, but yeah, no, that's good. So you mentioned Christmas movie. What are, I guess, some of the Christmas movie lineups that you have to watch each Christmas?
Each Christmas. Good answer. So I don't want to take this too morbid, but my grandfather passed away last year. And we
Oh,
always used to
sorry about
watch
that.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Chevy Chase.
That's a good one.
My
Yep.
probably my favorite one just because of, family and things like that. Yeah, so I like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That's something that we watch every year, and yeah, it's very close to my heart. Muppets Christmas Carol, we actually watched that in concert the other week, which was really cool. And we have an archway
Oh, that's sick.
outside of our house, and we've done Muppets Christmas Carol themed. My partner is very good with crafts, so she's got it all set up. We've got like Rizzo the rat, we've got like Gonzo. She's currently doing Kermit, so that's really cool. Home Alone is a classic, and I'm going to leave it at those. Oh, and Scrooge with Bill Murray, love that one. How about you, my friend? What's your favorite Christmas movies?
Well, Pam is usually the Christmas movie connoisseur. So for her, I mean, obviously I like it too, but for her, we watch Elf and then we watch Polar Express. Those
Nice,
are the two
that's so
that
cool.
kind of come to mind. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you know
definitely.
when it's Thanksgiving, do you guys watch the Macy's Day Parade and watch some football games? Like, how does that usually go?
Yeah, it's usually dominated. I have two brothers, so it's usually dominated by football all day. But actually, my sister-in-law was like, you guys always watch football. Can we watch something else? So we brought the TV downstairs, and then they watched upstairs. I don't know what they were watching, but yeah, I like to put on the dog show,
Nice.
the little dog show that comes on, and then the Macy's Day Parade is also a good
Yeah,
one. What about you?
that's really cool. So we don't really have anything. It's just normal scheduling TV. I mean, I was working while everyone was like over in the US, stuffing their faces with turkey and having a great time. So I was just trying to catch up while you guys were taking a day off. I think it's a good time to catch up on work. But like I say, I always see it. I always
Yeah.
get very jealous of the food and the parade and the football games. So it's really good. So yeah, looked like you had a great time.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of football, your Patriots are doing pretty well, and they're basically on a bye this week. But after you mentioned they're gonna be playing the big bad Buffalo Bills, right?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say the big bad too much anymore. I think we've got their number, so I'm quite confident. I think the stars are aligned this season with the Patriots. Obviously, getting Mike Vrabel come back. I think we got him from the Titans. I think it was, or I think he was maybe at the Browns or something before that. But him coming in, obviously being coached under Bill Belichick, playing alongside Tom Brady and people like that, understanding the Patriot way. I think that was the perfect replacement from Gerard Mayo and to come in and get Josh McDaniels back, obviously offensive coordinator, really, really key. And just Drake May is the name on everybody's lips. And I think it's going to be a double. I think it's going to be coach of the year for Mike Vrabel. I think he's already had it in the past, actually, with the Titans, I believe, or came close. I can't remember. And I do think, MVP is going to go to Drake May. I think he's just absolutely lighting up the league at the moment. And it's starting all over again. It's that kind of connection. It's Brady Belichick, it's Vrabel and May. So really pleased. We're 11-2 at the moment. We're on a bye week, like you said, but we're just kind of dominating games again. It feels like 2012. It feels like good times are back in New England. So I'm really pleased about that. But yeah, how about you? Have
Yeah,
you been
no,
watching
you
any
guys.
Patriots games, or Cowboy games?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've seen some Patriot games, the thing with Drake May, it's like super he's really good at spreading the ball around. He doesn't, I mean, you guys have some good receivers, but I wouldn't say like a total superstar on the team. So it's very, very interesting to see him just kind of distribute the ball evenly, and you never know who's going to have a big game on offense for the receiving core. As for the Cowboys, yeah, definitely watching some Cowboys lately. We've strung a couple wins in a row together. Going to play the Lions this Thursday. Today, actually, we play the
Oh,
Lions. So
nice.
we got to wrap this up. Just kidding. But yeah, no, this is something. Yeah, totally. It's spaced. But yeah, we play today, and hopefully we beat the Lions and we remain in contention for a playoff spot.
What time are you playing? I might try and see if I can stay awake.
I So I would say 7:30
Oh,
Mountain
no
Time.
chance. Yeah.
So yeah, that's like 7 hours from now,
Yeah, that's like
unfortunately.
1 in the morning for me or something.
Yeah,
I need my beauty
yeah. I don't
sleep,
think
so I
it
don't think
ever.
I'll be able to make that one, but
It's
anyway,
fair.
we should probably talk more about Google Ads at the moment rather than make this a sports show for the people that are interested. They're probably thinking, hey, just get on to Google Ads, right? This isn't the other podcast Gene had that one time. Um, so,
No,
hey,
no.
look, we're talking about Google Ads for 2025 and the main things that have changed and the big news that came out throughout the year. I'm gonna I'll go over these and you can just give me your thoughts, I guess. But AI powered campaign tools are literally everywhere. If you go through the campaign creation process now, it's almost like you get stopped and policed at every stage when creating a new campaign to say, hey, AI can help you do this, AI can help you do that. Do you want AI to write some ads for you? Do you want to interact with those and go back and forth with AI to create descriptions and headlines and things like that? So you've got the ads advisor, you've got the analytics advisor as well, you've got agents, you've got everything is completely AI. So what's your take on it in terms of 2025 being sort of like the year of AI for Google Ads and where we're going into 2026?
Yeah, I think it's cool. The one thing that I do hate is I think it's like the ads advisor, or just sometimes when you're creating a search ad for I don't know, my interface, somehow, some way, whenever I'm creating something, I'll just start a little bar would just pop up on the right side, and I'm like, always have to close chat, and I'm like, why does that open? There has to be something like there to just turn that off. But yeah, I mean, AI powered campaign tools is definitely, something that's not going anywhere anytime soon. But in 2025, it's just really grown, and Google has found a way to really integrate that within the actual platform itself. And even earlier we were discussing just how ads are created, and even our creatives on Google Merchant Center, or even natively within Performance Max itself. You could generate images using Google AI and give them a keyword, or have it pull from the actual website, or your merchant feed. So I think there's just a plethora of different things that Google has given to us to say, hey, the AI buzzword is not going anywhere, and it's supposed to, in my opinion, it's trying to be like, okay, you don't need maybe Google Ads managers to diligently look after your budget. If you're a business owner, just give us 5,000 a month and use AI. You'll be fine, right? AI will help you, and it feels like you're actually in control because you can see it. But we all know that it's just very, very difficult to optimize a Google Ads campaign. So, but yeah, that's kind of my thought. Any of your thoughts, specifically for AI powered, or just kind of going off what I said?
Yeah, that was some really good points there that I'm going to pick up on. And I think, what I really like is that generative, like, image kind of thing that you can do for assets that you can do in Performance Max and things like that. Because if you're just starting out as a business, for example, you don't really have professional photography or anything like that, and you need something just to get something out the door, that can work really well, I think. And or if you're getting a lot of pushback from Google and they're saying we can't advertise this, maybe it's text overlay, or there's a few other issues, maybe blurry images. Potentially, you could look to create an image that's AI, just to kind of fill in the gap. So I think certain things, certain aspects of it are really good. What I'm intrigued to learn about is that I think we're going to see a new wave of Google Ads account managers that are just learning Google Ads right now, and maybe even listening into the PPC Cave, which, if you are, welcome. Um, but they're learning how to use Google Ads with AI. So you and I are obviously the old men now, as you could say, of Google Ads, if you like. Maybe not as old as some, but we came from a time where we didn't have AI. We just obviously used our own, like, notes and analysis to make decisions and things like that. And now there's obviously AI, which you can lean into to come to a decision and things like that. So it's going to be interesting to see we're at a tipping point where there's new account managers learning Google Ads and leaning heavily on AI, and probably are using those screens as you go through the setup. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. over the course of 2026. But in terms of 2025, AI Max was a big one for search campaigns. And I remember this time last year, I'm going to claim it. I said that I think there's going to be a new campaign type in 2025. And I'm going to say I wasn't too wrong. With Search AI Max, I think I'm calling that I predicted correctly. So I'm going to take that one as a win. But
Nice.
yeah, overall, I think AI is here to stay for sure. And what impact it'll have on Google Ads, I don't know, but it's definitely integrated now, and they're pushing it heavy. So
I think, yeah, one thing that I have noticed is whenever we do have our AI, say like for instance Performance Max, just because that was kind of the genesis, push to begin the whole AI thing in Google Ads itself. Um, but with Performance Max, I feel like uh, you said it's basically the old guard, us, versus like the new Google Ads PPC managers that really utilize AI to the fullest. But I think with that being said, we have still a leg up just because it's so important for us to create search campaigns that are manual, just because if you're only doing things AI or you're only doing things automated through a bid strategy, you're leaving a lot of testing on the table, because if you're letting the machine control your Google Ads account, it's going to resonate with clicks that are maybe just higher CPCs or more popular. But if you can control even on the keyword level through manual CPC, you can evenly rotate those keywords and test more and test ad copy. So even though we are old, I do think, or older, not old, we're older.
old, yeah, older.
Yeah, we're not old, but I think we do have a leg up when it comes to the testing aspect of bringing high funnel, more broad, not just warm leads in through AI or PMax. But yeah, I just have to slide that in before we move on to the
That's
to
it.
the
No,
next
that's a
point.
great point. And I think, having that full knowledge and understanding of the platform and being able to take the reins over, pun intended there, the reins. Thank you.
Christmas.
But it's important, I think, because then you fully understand the platform and the software and what it can do. And if you see that, okay, this isn't working, I believe that AI at the moment can only take you so far. To a point where if you don't know what to do, then potentially you might be screwed. So if you understand
Yeah.
the theory of Google Ads, and what makes a good campaign tick and what makes it run and where you need to save budget and reduce and things like that, then you're ahead. If you're just learning Google Ads from an AI perspective, and maybe 50 to 60 to 70% of Google Ads, but that 30, 40, 50% you're leaning on AI for, you might be doing yourself a disservice. So I think Gene brings up a really strong point there, actually, that having that full knowledge of the platform is key. So yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Anything else before I move on?
No,
No?
we're good.
All good. Yeah, cool. So again, campaign types and cross-channel expansion. I think this is something that the Google Ads community really pushed for years, which was to understand better where clicks were coming from through Performance Max, understand better where conversions were coming from, and where the Performance Max was weighting that budget. Was it more heavily towards, say, display or search or shopping, and understanding that without having to use a script into every account that you go into. And finally, Google answered the call and gave us PMax kind of insights and reporting in terms of negative keywords, in terms of full understanding of where conversions and clicks are coming from and being spent. Not to mention demand gen has really taken off this year as well, really incorporating, YouTube and Discover and Gmail and AI as well. So there's a lot to unpack there. But what are your thoughts, Gene, on obviously demand gen and PMax turned into a bit of a winner there for reporting?
Yeah, I think it just really beefed. I mean, this year just really beefed up Performance Max, and the way that how effective it is in all of my clients' campaigns. Like Performance Max, we all know even last year was everyone was saying, oh, it's primarily remarketing, which that's very true. But now with like what Ryan mentioned with the channel distribution or channel performance, I think it's given a little bit more, I wouldn't say creativity to creating single manual campaigns, but I think it's just providing a lot of transparency also so that we know where the data is coming from and how to utilize that data, because most of the time we know where the data is, but what do we do that's actionable with that data? So even for me in practicality is what I usually do with just a regular client is, if I'm looking at the breakdown for Performance Max through the channel performance and I see one specific channel that's really going crazy, going wild, it's like, as I mentioned, we have the tools to do a manual search campaign. And I've seen a Google search campaign in the last 30, 60, 90 days, channel distribution and channel performance is just overall trumping every other platform or every other channel. Then I'm going to perhaps lower the budget on that specific Performance Max campaign and just go all in on a search campaign. And you could make this super easy, just because if say the majority of the clicks, say you get 1,000 clicks on search and then 20 or less clicks everywhere else for the other channels, and then you go through the search terms on Performance Max, those are probably search terms from search, so you could almost not copy and paste, but you could have a good baseline of what keywords to target in a specific manual search campaign that you got and derived from just using channel performance on PMax.
Where do
So
you think that leaves standard shopping now? Would you tell people to run a standard shopping campaign in 2026, or are you bullish on PMax?
no, so what I've seen, if you only so if so I've done both. So if you only have a Performance Max campaign, that's a good question. If you only have a Performance Max campaign and you're running it, yeah, you could go in search themes, but search themes is not search keywords. It's essentially going to pull in your brand search term. So in that case, if you want to use just Performance Max as your search brand campaign, yes, but you're not really going to get that high funnel, people that aren't really already know your product or your service, to come in through just one Performance Max campaign and no separate search campaign. So I would still run search alongside Performance Max. Absolutely.
Yeah. What about standard
Yeah.
shopping as well? So, because obviously there's standard
Yeah.
shopping, which is an option.
Yeah. Sorry, you asked for standard shopping.
I did. Well,
So
you
for
gave no. You gave a fantastic example of how you can run search and Performance Max as well. But I'm just wondering, is standard shopping dead?
yeah, yeah, man, I don't use so I do your method where you just do the feed only. That's usually what I do. I don't ever
Mm.
run standard shopping just because why? Like because I could see even on a regular feed only, for a feed only, I could see the search terms. So if I'm running just shopping, technically a smart shopping campaign, I can still see the search terms. So yeah, I don't even run a standard shopping campaign anymore. What about you?
No, I'm still running them. I'm actually still running standard shopping campaigns and seeing some success. I think it depends on the market and the brand and, the product as well. Um, but it's interesting because for some, I am seeing a lot of success, but for others, I'm still not seeing it take off the way I wanted it to. So I'm thinking of one account in particular where, I've only really just turned it on, so it could be too early to tell, but I'm thinking maybe PMax might be a better option, and that was probably a bit of a selfish answer or a selfish question for me to ask you to get your thoughts on that. But I do think that as much as I love standard shopping, just to isolate that channel, I do think maybe feed only can kind of replace it. So I think I would rather run a feed only campaign inside Performance Max rather than a standard shopping campaign, just because, like you say, there's more to be gained through Performance Max in terms of, remarketing as well, which is lacking inside standard shopping. So potentially standard shopping could be on its way out, but I don't know. I mean, we're a hardcore old bunch, and I keep using that word old, but we like, you know, control over things. We like, standard shopping, manual bidding. We like search campaigns. We don't want everything to be AI and completely smart bidding, because then where's the fun in that, right? I guess. And also to that
Yeah,
point,
where's the fun in that?
just before I finish off, is what I'll say is that I've noticed that if you start a campaign on maximize clicks or maximize conversions, not all the time it will work correctly. You may have to switch over to manual CPC just to kind of kickstart the campaign into performing, getting impressions, generating clicks, and things like that. In my experience, smart bidding is not always out of the box plug and play. Sometimes you need that manual kickstart to get it working. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't even use any max clicks anymore or I don't use anything automated for any search campaign. It's always manual first. So I definitely agree with that.
That's cool. Cool. So the last point then, which is prediction, I guess. And what are your predictions? I'll start off with you. What's your prediction for 2026? I think we did this last year in the Christmas episode,
Yeah.
and it was really fun. What's your prediction?
I think last year I said something like they weren't going to take away manual, but they were going to announce taking away manual or something like that.
Right.
But I think for me, it's really just the beefing up Performance Max. The continual optimization or version. I don't know what version we're on Performance Max, but I think we got a lot of cool features uh, inside the actual campaign structure, the way that you create campaigns in Performance Max, and I think it's just going to be expanded even more. I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but I mean they could always do more when it comes to um, you know broadening out channel performance and the channel distribution. It would be cool to see like, okay, this is actually like I could click YouTube and then I could be like see all the types of search terms from YouTube, like in the actual channel distribution, just because you just see search terms, right? But I don't think there's actually a way to see where it came from. It just says Performance Max search terms and all of it's listed out. But that would be so cool to see. Okay, this was a Google Maps search term, or this was from Gmail search term in
Mm,
Performance Max. That would be cool.
that'd be so
What about
cool.
you?
Yeah. I think, well, it's going to be interesting because I am bullish on the fact that, ChatGPT ads is coming. And with, I believe it is 700 million weekly users, it makes sense to monetize ChatGPT now as a platform with ads. So I think we're going to see a shift, and ChatGPT ads is going to come out and it's going to be big. And I think a lot of advertisers are going to have to learn a new back end. Of obviously we've learned Meta, we've learned Google Ads. I think ChatGPT ads is going to be the new platform to learn in 2026. I think it'll be late 2026. I don't think it'll be early or anything like that. And I did notice the other day that actually OpenAI have introduced, and see if I can screen share this as well. Hang on a second, just to give people a little bit of relevance.
Yeah.
I think it's this one. So as you can see here, shopping research assistant in ChatGPT.
Yep.
And I think this is kind of blending Google Shopping with ChatGPT in the fact that you can actually start getting shopping recommendations and research inside ChatGPT. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. But it's definitely going to be something that I think is big. And whether or not, ChatGPT ads comes out and Google do a massive acquisition of that platform, potentially, or Meta, but maybe even OpenAI is big enough not to allow that to happen and can really start branching out on different kind of advertising platforms and its reach and things like that. So I just think there's something big coming in 2026, whether it's ChatGPT ads or some sort of integration with Google and ChatGPT. But there's definitely something on the horizon, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely going to be AI related. ChatGPT, OpenAI is a huge player when it comes to just the funding, just because there's so many different subscribers and they have, like you said, so much traffic in general. It would be dumb to not somehow monetize, those users. But yeah, I mean, this was a pretty good wrap up episode. I feel like we've, uncovered essentially what happened in 2025 for Google Ads, and also what we are expecting in the future in 2026. Any final last thoughts, Ron, before we sign off?
I think it's been a good year overall. I think business, in terms of actually, client generating and things like that, there's been a lot of changes for businesses. I feel like a lot of businesses have been having to cut back and things like that. And I've definitely felt the impact of it, as I'm sure many businesses out there listening, watching to us have also felt an impact. But it'll be interesting to see how next year plays out. And it's a fresh new year. So it'll be interesting to see what happens across economies and in business and things like that. But overall, we've had a good year, I think, and I'm just ready now, looking forward to 2026. How about you?
Yeah, I think that's essentially all I have. I think it was a great year, for me. But I think it's difficult because there's always changes, right, in business. I feel like it's something that's always going to continue to happen. There's new things that are being introduced, and old things being not introduced or sunsetted. So in something like Google Ads or PPC, I feel like you have to keep your head on a swivel, continue to innovate, and I just want to encourage any other PPC manager or freelancer out there, if you're looking at your client list or just in general, or like there's a lot of uncertainty, continue to push forward, continue to push forward and test, and you're always going to figure something out if you're learning and growing. So yeah, I think that's it for me.
There you go. You heard it from the
But
man
yeah,
himself. You got to keep pushing forward and look forward to 2026. But yeah, this has been a great episode. And before we finish off, I'm just going to remind everybody of our sponsor, Opteo. So, like I said at the start of the video, we sponsor with Opteo because we only want to sponsor with the best, and they have an amazing software that you can basically integrate with all of your clients, and it's so seamless in terms of setting up, and the recommendations, the suggestions it has are just top notch, absolutely fantastic. And typically, if you're just going to sign up to Opteo, you're probably only going to get 14 days as a trial, and that's okay, but it's not great. And what we like to do at the PPC Cave is offer great gifts and great presents, just like the big man himself. So we're offering you guys a 28-day free trial of Opteo. So you just need to go to Opteo, opteo.com/the PPC Cave to get a 28-day, a free extended trial, a whole month on Gene and I from the PPC Cave for you. To try Opteo and see the amazing benefits it has. And if you don't know already, a few months ago, Gene and I recorded an amazing in-depth episode with one of the lead people at Opteo. So if you are a little bit unsure about what Opteo is, the benefits of it, and essentially what is Opteo, go back and watch that episode. It's probably one of the best episodes we've ever recorded here at the PPC Cave. And get your free trial today. So opteo.com/the PPC Cave. And last but not least, before we sign off, from me to you, Gene, Joel, the editor, and you guys, I wish you a happy holiday season to your friends and family. I hope you have a really great time, and I'll see you in the new year.
awesome.
I thought you were going to
Cool.
wish me a happy Christmas.
Oh, I thought you,
I was waiting.
dude, you cut out. It said,
Really? Oh, my God.
bro, I think you cut out the point where you were wishing me. I thought you were wishing everybody a Merry Christmas.
Oh, no, I said
So I was
you
just like,
and
yeah.
Joel and everyone, and yeah, that's okay.